What's up, guys? Hey, Jerry Green here today. Thank you again for being part of my YouTube channel. And guys, I want to share with you, really the subject today is team versus no team. Let's think about this. In this real estate investing space, there's no question at all that you can do it on your own. No question at all. In fact, I've done that for a lot of years. Yeah, I take it back to, let's see, go back to early 90s. 1994 is when I first started in the business on a full-time basis. Now, I actually started monkeying around with it a little bit probably in 93, in that realm of time. But when I started doing this, guys, it was, very heavy on the grind side. And a lot of people, as you start with any business, you're going to be very heavy on that side of things. So obviously, I was, taking it back then. Of course, everything was a lot different then when it comes to, technology. We didn't have anything like we have today. I had to turn around and basically do all my marketing, placing ads in the newspaper, because that was a big thing back then. Driving for dollars, and not only driving for dollars, but we had to do that, but we had to turn around and go to the courthouses and research the information, and then send the mail out and all that. But there's still a lot of stuff that happens the same way today. Now you start thinking about this, okay? So I'm doing that, okay? And I'm doing, making all the calls to the clients, returning all their calls when they're coming in, filling out all the seller worksheets. I am going on all the appointments, because back then it was strictly all appointments. So I was going on all the appointments. I was writing all the offers. I was submitting everything to the attorneys back then. Most of the time we had to drive the contract to the attorney's office because there was no other way to get it there. Maybe a fax, we might be able to fax it. Most of the time fax wasn't clear enough, so we had to drive it over there. So you start looking at all this, and it just continued to add up. So all these moving parts. And I had to do the transaction coordinating. I had to turn around and then sell the property. I was doing the dispo. Of course, back then we didn't even have the terminology. It was just like, oh, you're wholesaling, but it's just, you're doing everything within the company. Then I started getting into rehabs, and I started doing all that. And I was managing the projects. Actually, not only was I was actually marketing, buying the deals, doing the transaction coordinating. I was also doing the dispo on any of those deals. I was managing the rehab. I was buying the materials. I also was working and doing the electrical work at the properties too, because that was my background. And I was working sometimes till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and get back up at 7 o'clock in the morning and do it all over again. It was just constant, over and over again. So I want you guys to think about this. That will take you to a certain level. But the thing is, why is it that we get caught up into that? If we get caught up into that, guys, of doing all that, and this is no team, the thinking of no team here, that comes down to basically thinking like a technician. That's not thinking as a business owner or entrepreneur. That's thinking as a technician. As a technician, I had to do it. As a technician, I'm doing all the work, doing all the stuff. And I was caught up into that. And I was doing that for years. And I kept trying to figure out why I didn't make more money, why I wasn't bringing in more revenue. Why is it that, I'm working 7 days a week, and really, I've gotten to a certain point, but I really couldn't get to go any further than that. Well, I realized that if you look at all my time was being spent a small percent here, bigger percentage here, bigger percentage here. Guys, think about that. If you do that and you divide something up like that completely, where's the focus? Where does the focus go? The focus is everywhere. And when it's scattered everywhere, it is hard to achieve big results. Because when you're scattered like that, you're just all over the place. Now, let's start looking at the team side, okay? So we looked at no team versus team. I started realizing that there was a lot of things I was doing that really I was not that good at. And I could start bringing in other people to help me on this. Even at early stages, I started doing this. Now, I brought in a lot of the wrong people, because there's a lot of people I brought in that were very lazy, they didn't really care, and they were in the position where they had, they were not an A player. okay? And I had to learn that. So I brought these, started bringing some people in. It started making an impact for me on things. But I realized that ultimately, if I started bringing different people in my real estate investment business, and I look at it, fast forward to today. Well, today, guys, what's interesting is we do more business, we generate more revenue, and now I'm in a position where I'm completely removed from the operational side of that business. And you think, well, how's that possible? Well, it's possible because of a team. Now, there's other things besides that, the team processes and stuff, but we're focusing on the team today. So the people component is extremely important. And a lot of people look at it and say, well, I don't want to invest in having somebody on board. I don't want to pay for that. The thing is, you guys are paying for it one way or another. You're paying for it with your own time. And you're paying for it by less revenues. So circle back here on this, guys. Start thinking about all these moving parts like I was describing here when it comes to no team. And then start thinking about, with a team, how you can turn around and start creating boxes for people to own within your business. And then what happens is they own those boxes, and then what happens is that it creates accountability. And then you say, well, how do I know they're going to be doing that? You measure that. And you measure that through what we call like KPIs, key performance indicators. And then what we start doing then is we start building this team this way. And it might be just one person at the beginning, but that one person could own several boxes for you guys. And you just continue to build from there. And then what happens is, guys, it takes all these percentages that you were giving away of your time, and it starts concentrating this more and more to the point where now you can start seeing the results by going in and being smart with your time. And now your team is taking over more and more areas of your business, and you're going to find a lot of times these people are smarter than you and better than you in these different areas. And by doing that, that's how you will grow your business. Because prior to that, really, if you think about it, it's not really a business if you're doing everything yourself. So guys, I hope this helps here today. Team versus no team. So I hope this brought some value. If it is, guys, or if it did bring value to you, please comment below. And also, guys, please subscribe to my channel here, and we'll talk to you later.